Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Zoe Zandora in for Jay and Janelle. We start tonight's news with crews still searching for a man who was seen falling into the Yellowstone River over the weekend. Stillwater County authorities say 20-year-old Brandon Fitch of Columbus fell from the Yellowstone River Bridge on Saturday morning. According to the sheriff's office, Fitch has not been found yet, and the search has been suspended as high water and continuing rain created dangerous conditions for search crews. The investigation is still ongoing, but authorities say no foul play is suspected. And in statewide news, it looks like tax revenues are bouncing back, and if they continue on that trend, some of the budget cuts in the past year could be undone starting later this summer. But the final determination is still a few weeks away. MTN's chief political reporter Mike Dennison explains.
When state lawmakers met in special session last November, they approved nearly $80 million in budget cuts, the majority of which hit human service programs. But they also passed a law that said if flagging tax revenues bounced back past a certain level, that funding would be restored in fiscal year 2019, which starts next month. Now, legislative fiscal staff says that threshold could be surpassed by $137 million. If that total holds true by early next month, $46 million of that money will offset cuts over the next 12 months.
Senate Bill 9 and putting in place a mechanism that would force the money to go back to the specific areas from which it was cut is a big impact, and it's something that I think was a good safeguard against some of those cuts becoming permanent.
Senate Bill 9 outlines how the money would be restored to various departments and directed to other accounts. But the final result is not yet certain. Balance and legislative staff say the $137 million figure is the middle of a range of possible outcomes. Governor Steve Bullock's budget director, Dan Villa, also didn't say much Monday about the numbers, except that the picture will become clear soon enough.
We will know in July where we're at, and at that point we will have additional conversations with you about Senate Bill 9 implementation.
That's when fiscal year-end numbers will dictate how much money is restored next year. Balance also acknowledged that some of the cuts may not be able to be reversed, such as layoffs in some programs, office closures, or cutbacks in local mental health services.
There have been changes made structurally within organizations that you can't just simply undo.
Yet, she says revenue recovery should be good news, both for programs that were cut and the long-term outlook for the state budget.
If we stay on the growth trajectory that we are on, I think we look pretty good.
Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Thank you, Mike. The next fiscal year begins July 1st, and the budget numbers will be certified by mid-August. And looking at high levels of rain, checking in with Bob in the Weather Center, just how much rain? I mean, we had a lot over the weekend.
It's coming in wave after wave. The way she says it's coming down in sheets is what I remember. Now we've had Texas frog stranglers in the whole 9 yards. Let me show you how much rain we've had around the region. These are some of our top 5 reporting stations, and as you can see here, we've had a lot of rain. Red Lodge, 1.75 inches. We're going back a week here, so this will include all of the weekend into last week. Livingston, 1.71 here. Billings, a little over 1.5 inches, 1.56. Great Falls is at 1.35. Other places like Lewistown has had 9,600s. Let me show you some of the rainfall amounts we've had just today. Here in Billings, we've already had half an inch of rain today. Bozeman's had picked up, almost 3/4 of an inch. Same thing at Butte, a lot of rain in that area. And here's what's happening. It's a big upper level low pressure cell that continues to sit and spin and pull moisture out of Wyoming, and it wraps around that low pressure cell. Well, as that low pressure cell continues to spin its way around western Montana, it's eventually it takes some of that moisture and then wrap it right around that low again and bring it right back at your place again, probably sometime tomorrow evening, and we'll probably still have a good chance for some spotty showers right on into Wednesday and Thursday. We'll have more on that coming your way in a few more minutes. Zoe?
Great, thanks, Bob. We'll be checking back with you later on in this newscast. Now, fire season is in the back of everyone's mind, but how is all the rain playing a part? MTN's Kaylee Collins explains what the National Weather Service is predicting for this season.
Fire season is upon us, and while many think this above-average rainfall is good, that's not always the case.
In general, when you have a wet spring, it is going to allow the grasses and the fine fuels to grow in abundance.
And when the rain stops, that vegetation dries out.
The fine fuels are easy to catch on fire. They are the first to dry out, and any spark from machinery or a campfire that gets into those fine fuels will burn very quickly and very fast and very hot.
Jackson says it's hard to predict exactly how bad it will be.
We always get the outlook for the fire weather season. However, one of the things I've noticed, I've been working here for 25 years, is a lot of times the fire weather season hits with a vengeance or it doesn't hit at all.
He suggests people to remain vigilant, though.
People just need to be aware of the fact that fire season will be coming. It may come in 2 weeks. It may not come for another month and a half, but it will come at some point, and people will just need to be aware and be careful with whenever they are working with fires, campfires, or equipment out in the fields.
In Great Falls, Kaylee Collins, MTN News.
All right, thanks, Kaylee. And John Stevens with Emergency Services says to keep pine needles, debris, and dry grass away from your structures like your home or your garage. And also pay attention to when burning is allowed. Stevens says he will cancel burning when the wind reaches 25 to 30 miles per hour. And state wildlife officials say the canine creature that captured the curiosity of the nation after being shot by a Montana rancher is actually a gray wolf. DNA from the animal, which was shot legally by a rancher near Denton over a month ago, was tested at the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service Forensic Lab in Oregon. The lab compared the animal's DNA with thousands of other DNA samples, and the conclusion was clear. The animal is a gray wolf from the northern Rocky Mountains. Confusion about the animal might be due to the condition of the animal in the photos taken, but officials say physical variations aren't unusual for animals. And coming up on the Q2 News, 22 years ago, the FBI laid siege to Freeman compound outside Jordan, Montana. In tonight's Q2 Rewind, we look back at this tense moment in Montana history. And later in sports, Scott checks in with the trio of Montanans saddling up for their respective national finals rodeos.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Cohn and Janelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.